Okay, I'm angry. You see the title. Many are going to say, what are you talking about? The show was good. No, it wasn't. I'm angry. Guys, I know not everyone cares about NXT. No one does. I'm one of the few people who evaluates NXT for what it is. It's a developmental run by Shawn Michaels. And I'm not telling you he does a perfect job at it, but at least you know it's him that's running it when he was able to run it. Like I said last week, that's over with. He's no longer running it the way he wants. It is obvious that it's different now. When you see the show, it's different. Legitimately, the way NXT was supposed to be run is supposed to develop the stars that are on the Performance Center and in the Performance Center and working in front of the cameras, giving them time to develop enough to go to the main roster. That's not the case anymore because the main roster is now there and everything feels like it's 100% about the main roster and ratings. So what does that give anyone who is running in NXT, who's been in the Performance Center for a few months or easily a few years, and the main roster's already there, and it's more about them than it's about you? When you look at this show, it was about the main roster. And one person, Let's go to the first match. This is for Group A of the Heritage Cup Invitational. Butch versus Tyler Bates, the best match of the entire show. I'm saying it right now. Anyone else? You can disagree with me. It's understandable. There were some good matches throughout the show, but this was the best. I'm saying it right now. Two guys who know each other very well from UK who went up against each other, and it felt legitimate. It felt important. When Tyler got the taste smacked out of his mouth by Butch Pete Dunne, you could see he did not like it and got pissed. Fine. I liked this match. It was the best match of the show. And in the end, Tyler didn't win. It was Butch. And the next match, it goes along with that. You got Duke versus Joe Coffey. It was an okay match. Okay. And during this, and I gotta say this right now, seeing Metaphor dressed up as Neo, as oh my goodness, what am I looking at? Why did they go there dressing as Neo, Morpheus, and Trinity? Why did they go there? And seeing that Noam Dar is trying to do bullet time, going, I wanted him to fall back and hurt himself so badly. This was stupid. Now, mind you, last time he was dressed as an elephant. Now, it makes sense the way that Nolan Dar is acting stupid and even trying to talk like an American. That motherfucker tried to talk like an American, like he from Hick. What the hell are you doing? I'm not going to tell you that some people are not going to like it, but it is obvious. This is something that was thrown at the last minute, and they're just going with it. Now, I'm not going to tell you that Johnson didn't look good. She looked sexy. And I'm not going to tell you that Lash Legend looked ugly. She didn't. Neither one of those women are ugly. They're beautiful women. But is the entire aesthetic make any sense? No. It kind of makes you think they're an afterthought. Metaphor isn't a metaphor for nothing. That's what they feel like. I'm just saying. Now, I'm going to move on to the next match. I'm not going to explain anything about what happened with Joe Coffey or Duke because of the triple threat. I'll get to that in a few minutes. You got Lola Vice versus a Roxy. I knew Roxy was going to beat her. I felt no fear that Roxy was going to lose. But seeing her do a roll-up on her, instead of just doing a pop rocks, is it that Lola is just not trained well enough to be doing anything? Or they thought Lola was not even good enough to at least get a pop rocks out of her? You guys tell me below which one you think it is. Is it because Lola Vice is so green that she can't pull off a pop rocks? Or they just thought that I don't know. You guys some below. I'm moving on. We next are doing the backstage segments. Did I like the family of D'Angelo and Stax talking about the tag team division? Yeah, it was all right. Trying to figure out who's next for them to go after. Who's the one they want to get. Who is the one they're going to be dealing with next. It wasn't bad. I had no problem with that. Seeing that, let me give it to you like this. Trick being bothered by not only Dom, but also what was left of Schism, because we do know at this point, everyone's saying they're not going to fire. Someone left a comment on my Raw review saying, well, what was it? Yeah, so, but they're not going to fire people now. Guess what? Schism's dyad, both of them have been fired. They've been released. You feel like an idiot yet? The person that left a comment on Raw, and I'm sure that person's going to leave it there, and you know who you are. You said, oh, they're not going to fire anybody. They just did. Schism's dyad are gone. It's only now Joe Gacy and Alva Rain. That's it. They're gone. So where's your business? And if you say, oh, that's developmental, it's not the point. You said no one was getting fired. They got fired. They've been released. There you go. So seeing that people are messing with a Trick Williams about him being in the shadow, like Dom said, he's looked like he's just like him when he was in the shadows with his deadbeat dad, and now he's trying to convince him you need to notice that you're in the shadows. It's going to mess with Trick's head eventually. So we will eventually, and it's coming, we will eventually see Trick dealing with Carmelo. It's going to happen. Will they book it correctly? I don't know. But it's obvious that Joe Gacy is the next person that Trick Williams has to go through. Whether he wins or loses is irrelevant. My guess is he will win. But the key is, I doubt he's going to win on the first try. Like what happened with Dragunov. He's going to probably lose against a Joe Gacy. Unless they're going to be crazy enough for them to do it like that and they want to rush this. Which kind of like that's how the show felt anyway. But that's it. Next, we saw Thea Hale getting some clothes. Let's make this clear. Thea is not a curvy girl. I want to make this clear. Thea Hale is a muscular girl who doesn't have a lot of curves, but she's still pretty. She's 19, nearing 20. No, she just turned 19. And I want to make this clear. I'm not trying to sound like no pedophile or nothing. I'm not trying to sound like I'm being disrespectful. But Thea is not built to be sexual. She's built for being very muscular. She's a very muscular, very athletic girl. That's how she's built. She's built like a tomboy. I know that's not a word many people want to hear anymore because they say that's being disrespectful. It's not. That comment, that stating what people used to call themselves back then. It's not meant to be disrespectful. It's not meant to be sexual. It's just what you used to look like. That's what she is. She's like this with a little bit of boob and a little bit of hip. Boob a little bit, hip a little bit. She is a tomboy. That's how she's built. She's very muscular. Girl could probably break my back if she wanted to. She's probably tougher than me. That's probably the truth. But seeing they're trying to make her look sexualized, they're trying to get her look more sexy, more alluring, more adult-like. Since she is 19, nearing 20. I think she just turned 19 a few months ago. And she wants to be more of an adult. Is the wisest thing to do. But knowing they're going to have to figure out how the right clothes are going to fit her. Because she doesn't have much breasts. She doesn't have much hip. And she don't have much booty. She has very thick legs. Where most guys would love it. So, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a process for her. This is going to be a process. Is she leaning into it? Yes, she is. So I will say that. Next, Von Wagner is undetermined when he's returning. Mr. Stone was shown in a tweet. I don't remember what X is calling their tweets now. I think it's still tweet. That he's still out. They don't know when. Fine. If the story is he's going to stay out for a couple of months, and then come back for revenge in a much more different type of state, great. That is good to see that they are trying to do something with Vaughn. The question is, what are you going to do now with Braun Breaker? Next, let me give it to you like this. I gotta say this. This is hard. This is a hard one. Because for me personally, this means something to me. Seeing that Eddie Thorpe is going for a strap match because of what Dijak did to a tree, which was just whip it with a belt, which it did not damage the bark, which we did see. He did not I'm not trying to say this should be disrespectful to nature. But if you wanted to make this look right, you had to have Dijak try to cut a tree down or burn he need to burn a tree or need to cut down a tree. The only thing you need to do was a dead tree already, cut down already, and you just cut it down again or burn it. That's what they really needed, a trunk to burn and burn some land. Or just chop up a tree that was already slated for, already a tree has, a sapling's already been replaced for that tree, and you can chop the tree down. It didn't have to be a big one. It just needed to be a small one. Something that would feel more important than just hitting a tree with a strap, which supposedly damaged the bark, which it didn't. It just felt like it was lacking. But seeing the way Eddie Thorpe talked, saying that you just disrespected my people, my tradition, my ancestors. Oh no. You want to think I'm a savage? I will be savage to you. We will do a strap match. I'm all for it. It's just the way they implemented it was not good. He should have gone to the forest, saw a burnt trunk of a tree or a chopped down tree that was already slated to be cut down, and they already replaced it with a sapling. That's the truth. That's the way it should be. But this is just me. You guys can tell me what you think. All right. Not much left. Let's just go through the 3 matches that was so stupid. What a waste of a main event. I'm saying it right now. We got Becky Lynch coming in rapping. Let's make this clear. She came in rapping. She came into the ring in the opening of the show and started doing like poetry to near or at the point of rapping. She's not Caster. She ain't close to that. But I will say it was interesting. Then once Tiffany, Kiana, they had their interaction with her. You get your match. It was supposed to be a 2-on-1 handicap match. Yes, Roxanne Perez was willing to help her even though her shoulder was hurt. But Becky said, I'm the man. Don't worry, I can handle it. And as she's going to the ring, she gets jumped from behind. And she gets her ass kicked before there's even a match. But guess who comes out? Valkyria comes out. Helps her out. And instead of it still being a 2-on-1 handicap match, it is now a tag match. For the rest of the show, and the faces win. At least until Tiffany hits both Kiana James. She's gone. She's wiped out. You get Tiffany coming in, wheeling a very sloppy type of chair shot to a Becky, to a Valkyria, and then we get this ending to the show, which didn't even need to happen like that. You could have had the fight, and you could have still made it be calm. You could have still made the statement that they wanted an Extreme Rules match at No Mercy. You did not need the match. This is what gets me. You had that match between Duke Hudson and Joe Coffey where Duke wins, and now it's 3-way, where everyone's got 4 except for Akira Kozawa. So they decide to have a triple threat, which, guess who won? Joe Coffey won. There you go. Now he's got to deal with the people in Group A. Wait a minute, what's that? Group B? What is it, Group B or Group A? he now has to deal with people in Group A because he was Group B. That should have closed the show. Then there wouldn't have been a problem because this was something important. This was for the Global Heritage Invitational. That should have closed the show, but it didn't. Then you have a non-title match for either title, which is North American title and the Champions title. There was advertisements from last week that they were going to do this. You have the match. Of course, Dom had to cheat. He threw not only Mello into Dragunov, but also Mello got thrown. He also threw him at Dragunov, which made Dragunov see red, and then hit. And I believe it was Dom who got nailed in the back by Dragunov. So that means Dom lost. Was it Dom or I think it was Dom? No, was it Dom? No, it was Mello who threw Dom into Dragunov. Then he saw red, nailed Mello, which allowed Dom to win. Even though it wasn't announced. They probably threw it out because they didn't want to hurt Mello. But the point is, you literally had two main events right there. The champion versus champion, which should have closed the show. Easily should have closed it, but didn't. Then you have the triple threat for the Global Invitational. The Global Heritage Invitational. Could have done that. No. What did you do? You decided to have originally a 2-on-1 handicap match at the end, which got turned into a tag match, which legitimately helped no one. No one got helped in that. That's the truth. Because the only thing that led to that was an announcement to do an Extreme Rules match at No Mercy. Look, guys, you know me. I love women's tag team wrestling and women's wrestling. I respect every freaking woman that goes into that ring. And I want them to get the respect they deserve. Whether they can get the same booking as men is irrelevant. Just book them the same and let the people choose. If they get as much money as a man, great. If they get it under, great. That happens in all pro wrestling. Not even the men always get it. Not every man is going to have top billing. Even if you like them or not, there's always going to be some that are lower. The point is, just give us what we want. At least what we want that's been properly booked. What did we gain with Becky Lynch being the champion for NXT? Nothing. What did she do on Raw? She went up against Natalya instead of maybe Indy Hartwell, Kiana Chance, Carter. Who else? There's a lot of women back there. I'm trying to remember. Isla Dawn, Alba Fire. You have also. Do I even want to say? I don't even know if I should even Candice LeRae. I should, but the way they're booking her, they don't even want to do anything with her either. You got all those women. No. You give us Natalya. And then instead of building something up properly and not giving us a screwy ending near the end of the show so you can make it into a tag match, it was a waste of time. This is what I was saying. If anyone said this was great, it was dumb. They're not caring about the talent of NXT. I'm telling you. This is all about the main roster being there to boost the ratings. This is not trying to build the next generation of pro wrestlers. It's not. It's not. If it was, Carmelo Hayes and Dominic Mysterio should have closed the show. The Global Heritage Invitational 3-way match should have closed the show. You could have done something with Tiffany Stratton having a match where, yes, Becky could have been watching and could have made it about her. No, you had it about Becky going up against two women, then having Valkyrie come in, and then making it a tag match which made not one of these women shine, just so you can set up an Extreme Rules match at No Mercy, which could have been announced with a fight in the back. This was a waste. And if you still don't get it, why are you watching me? Well, maybe I shouldn't be saying that. If you still don't get it, you're watching me to explain it to you, which I just did. And if you say down in the comments, why are you saying that? I'm going to say, did you not watch my video? Hello, are you watching my video? If anyone comments down below asking me, I don't understand, what are you talking about? Look at the video. It is that simple. They booked the show for the mainline talent of Becky Lynch. It was not meant for Carmelo Hayes. It was not meant for the Global Heritage Invitational. It was not meant to make sure all the other people are built up properly, even though, like with going on with storylines that are nearby, what took precedent? Becky. Peace.